Everyone's talking about AI, and that's the big topic. Everyone's like, how's it going to take over, and all this stuff, and it's bad or it's good or we don't know. What are the pros and cons for, in layman's terms, for someone like me?
Yeah, so the era we've come to is sort of the vision that computing was expensive and it basically became free. The era that we're just starting is that intelligence is rare, a great doctor, a great teacher. And with AI, over the next decade, that will become free, commonplace. But I think, it's a little bit unknown. Yeah. Will we be able to shape it? And so legitimately, people are like, wow, this is a bit scary. It's completely new territory.
I mean, will we still need humans?
Not for most things.
Robot cop on duty. A humanoid robot has joined the police force in southern China. Equipped with AI and advanced sensors, this robotic officer is ready to patrol, assist, and interact with the public. The future of policing is here, and it looks like it's coming straight out of a sci-fi movie.
This is the future of American justice.
Dead or alive, you're coming with me.
We need to give Americans a figure they can rally behind.
We are on the eve of a technological revolution.
Thank you. Well, guess what? You now have another option when it comes to ordering food. How about having a driverless car deliver it right to your doorstep? Well, now you can, thanks to a new partnership launched today between Waymo and Uber Eats. So it works like this. You just order your food like normal through the Uber Eats app. The business will then place the takeout in the trunk of the Waymo, and once it gets to you, well, you just open the trunk and take it out. One restaurant owner we spoke to today says it takes the human error out of the equation, which makes his job a little less stressful.
Partnering up with Waymo and Uber Eats to bring a seamless approach to delivery has taken a lot of the guesswork of where did the food go? Did someone grab the wrong bag? Was there something missing? This has made it 100% streamlined and taken a lot of stress off me when the food leaves here.
The vehicles will still be available for Waymo and Uber rides when they're not delivering food.
你扶着他。喂。是输入密码吗？ 好，好，你先上。
下午好，罗伯特考为您服务。
好，你上，你快点，快点，快点，快点，快点。
请正确系好安全带，点击屏幕底部的按钮，开始行程。
系好安全带。走啦，走啦。
为了您的安全，请系好安全带。
孩子要生了，特摄告诉我还有51分钟更新完毕，他现在是死也动不了。
我忍着一直开了一直的疼痛，还在走着去打车。我明明有车，我没走一步都是天哦。
I knew the Chinese electric vehicles were unreliable, but I didn't think that they were unreliable in this kind of situation. In some cases, it's actually pretty bad.
Okay, here it is. People are saying that the autonomous trucks aren't happening. Well, here's one that's being run by the U.S. Department of Transportation. Automated commercial vehicle evaluation. Smart trailer. The truck has sensors all over it. You can see up all over cameras and sensors. Automated vehicle. More sensors. Crazy. Cool. Crazy. It's happening.
Hi, I'm Christine Ulm, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. If you plan on traveling, we need your help to prevent delays and to prove your identity. Get a real ID. Starting May 7th, you will need a real ID to travel by air or to visit federal buildings in the United States. These IDs keep our country safe because they help prevent fraud and they enhance security. Please do your part to protect our country. Go today and don't delay. To learn more, go to dhs.gov/real-ID. Thank you.
Airport rules plan to get rid of boarding passes and check in and go fully digital. The way it works, passengers would download a biometric passport on their phone, drop off their luggage, and go through security after a face scan. Then you'd board the plane without showing your ticket or a passport at all. But what does that all mean for your privacy? Let's ask Kurt, the cyber guy. He joins us now. Katie on the staff here went through, she said in Dubai, they just looked right at her, boom, she goes in. So this is happening some places already. Should we be nervous? I mean, that feels kind of like a pretty big step.
Well, Clay, good morning to you. I'm wondering, who's in control of all of this data?
Great question.
Who is going to be the one that keeps the safety of all our deeply personal facial recognition data safe that matches to our credentials? It is what people are calling the biggest shakeup in the airline industry in at least 50 years. Airlines and airports doing away over the next 3 years with the check-in process, as well as scanning a boarding pass. That'll all go away. A biometric digital travel credential will be created, or you could use your smartphone. It's going to show your face to a scanner when you enter the airport, and boom, you're in, just like Clay was saying. And this is, this digital travel credential will carry everything. It'll have your passport on it. It'll have your driver's license on it. It'll have your ticket on it. And it'll also understand your flight information to know if you're in the right place at the right time. Well, this is expected to radically shorten the amount of time you need at the airport. But again, a lot of questions about who's going to be in control of this data. We already know that all they're telling us, Clay, is that as far as what you and I scan in, that when we go to the airport and we scan our faces, that within 15 seconds, our data is going to be wiped from that reader. But what about on the other end? Who's controlling all of that? There are a lot of unanswered questions here.
Kurt, I also expect, because every single day it seems like I open up a news app and data has leaked. You're saying that that would be scrubbed in 15 seconds. I think a lot of people out there watching are asking the question, really? Because it feels inevitable that all of this highly sensitive data would at some point get scrubbed, get taken, get scanned, and end up in the wrong hands. Am I crazy for this to worry about it? I don't think so.
Well, the world has been really bad at tracking all of this stuff, Clay. I think you're right. And the fact is, I don't know who's been determined to be in control of this data. And if it's a universal thing from the UN, and I don't know if many people know this, but, the UN dictates a lot of what happens when we fly. And they're the ones that are behind why we have the universal language or the global language at airports is English. So they also determine these sorts of things.
Our analysis on CBDC, in particular for the use of general use, we tend to establish the equivalence with cash. And there is a huge difference there. For example, in cash, we don't know, for example, who's using a $100 bill today. We don't know who is using a 1,000 peso bill today. A key difference with the CBDC is that central bank will have absolute control on the rules and regulations that will determine the use of that expression of central bank liability. And also, we will have the technology to enforce that. Those two issues are extremely important, and that makes a huge difference with respect to what cash is.
So what people don't realize is there's over 100 countries that are developing their own central bank digital currency, and that's built on blockchain. That's cryptocurrency. So in the next 2 years, I'm pretty sure most of Europe, Asia, the UK, they're in their pilot phase right now. So we're going to move from a fiat system to this new monetary system that's going to be using cryptocurrency and blockchain technology.
Now, talking about that, do you think they are trying to push that narrative as well because they want to try and have more control in terms of the way money's spent? They can track it, it's traceable, and it's like they can almost punish you for doing certain things.
100%, yes. So central bank digital currencies is where it gets scary because it's programmable. It's also trackable. So every transaction that anyone makes, they can see. And it can get really, really scary depending on, how far, governments want to go and central banks want to go. It can become a situation where they can actually block you from spending money, or they can cap you on like how much money you spend on, petrol, for example, or, can stop you from traveling abroad, all of that kind of stuff. That's how scary it could get. They have the capability. Not saying that they are going to do that, but the capability is there.
Another significant development on the horizon is our digital euro. We are in the preparation phase, and we are expecting European legislation. Once that is done, we will decide whether we move forward with developing a digital form of cash. Your digital euro.
CBDC stands for Central Bank Digital Currency. It is a currency issued directly by the central banks. It can be done on a wholesale basis, which is to essentially allow the commercial banks to issue it on a retail basis and do the management of it on a retail and then relate back to the central bank, which will be a wholesaler, or it can be done directly by the central bank doing directly a retail CBDC. The challenge with CBDC is it gives the central bankers complete control and the ability to program your money. What it does is it gives them the ability to say what you can use your money for, where you can use your money. It's called programmable money. Some people call it smart contracts. I call it very stupid contracts. But it gives you the ability to issue programmable money and do complete surveillance and control of where and how people use their money. Now, I say that CBDCs are quite dangerous, and they are. However, it's very important to understand that this kind of complete control comes about not through CBDCs, but having an all-digital monetary system. So what we want to stop is an all-digital monetary system because it is possible to do the equivalent of CBDCs on a private basis. So I can use merchant codes with your bank account and your credit card. I can kick you off your online payment systems if I don't like what you're saying on social media. There are many different ways if we go to an all-digital financial system. We have digitized throughout our economy, so our homes are full of digitized equipment that can be identified and surveilled. Our cars are more and more electric. They can be stopped remotely. The thing to understand is if we go to an all-digital transaction system, financial transaction system, with a digital ID, so I can tell you're you and I'm me with great precision, then suddenly all those different digitized items and equipments and systems snap into one complete control grid. And the key to that snapping into the control grid is the digital ID and the all-digital monetary system. Now, let me tell you what that looks like, because we don't have a financial problem. We have a governance problem. If you do it in a system where a secret governance system that is non-transparent and outside of your control, if that gives them the power to basically turn on and shut off your transactions, we're in a coup d'etat world. By creating an all-digital transaction system with a digitized economy and a digital ID, suddenly the central bankers now control fiscal policy. They can determine where you go, when you go. So let's go back to the pandemic. During the pandemic, if the lockdown said you can't go more than a mile from your home and you can only go that on Tuesday and Thursday, in an all-digitized economy with satellite flying overhead, they can literally track you, and if you don't do what they say, they can turn off your money. Now, what this means is you not only have usurping of the people's representatives, but you have a usurping of the state powers. So under the Constitution, the powers not delegated to the federal government are the reserved to the states. But now the central bankers asserting line of fiscal policy, making the rules and enforcing them centrally, can literally control healthcare or other powers reserved to the states, and by the ability to literally control your financial transactions. The way to make that transition is just say total control. If you don't eat cricket flour and synthetic meat made in a lab, we'll turn off your money. Use cash, encourage the local businesses to use cash, encourage your local banks to support cash. You can always use cash, and you can use checks. Keep the cash and check systems going.